It's preparing the live stream webinar, ladies.
Okay.
So let us know when you see us.
All right.
I see us.
We are live.
Hey.
Awesome.
Awesome. Should we wait a few minutes for people to jump on, or should we just jump right in?
Yeah, we can wait just a few minutes and see if anybody jumps on, and then I'll say go for it.
Cool.
Hi, welcome.
Oh,
We're glad you're here. That's a cute view.
I know, right? Can't go wrong with the baby view.
No. Definitely not.
And a car.
I was gonna say my Bubs has that car too. Oh,
They go
hello.
on a boat? Is that the one you have?
Yeah. It's like a little carport boat thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we like that boat.
Yeah, we do too. It's good. All right, I think we should just go for it, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and do speaker view and let's hit it.
Awesome. All right, guys. So thanks for jumping on. I'm going to kick us off tonight and not going to, I'm a little nervous. I've never started a call before, but I'm really excited for all of you who are here tonight and anyone watching the recording. What we're going to do is just tell a little bit about our stories and then give you a little bit of information about coaching. So my story, I am a teacher, but before I became a teacher, I was in college and I decided that going to the grocery store and buying whatever I wanted was a good idea because my mom was always very strict when I was living with her what I would eat. So I just got whatever I wanted and I gained a lot of weight. And when I say a lot of weight, I never had to worry about my weight growing up. I was always very active, always into sports. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting fat. And I had never kind of experienced this feeling before. But it was a moment that I remember. I went home for Christmas after my freshman semester and my cousin was like, do you have back fat? And I was like, I don't know what back fat is, but I might have it. And it was that moment that I was like, I need to start going to the gym. And I chose the gym because it was free at college. And I hated going there. I always felt like I could never do what I really wanted to do because I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to use weights. I didn't know how to use all these machines. So literally I would just run on the treadmill, sit on the bike, and what else did I do? Oh, the elliptical. And I just felt like I got nowhere. I lost a few pounds, but it wasn't what I ever wanted to do. And then I heard of this thing called Insanity. And I was like, okay, it's working out at home. I think I can get into that. So I bought it and I made my boyfriend, who's now my husband, do it with me over the summer after our first year of college. And I have never been that in shape in my entire life. And I was not following any kind of nutrition plan. We were just sticking to the workout every single day. And I fell in love with Shaun T. And it was just something that was pinnacle in my life that I knew changed it. And I knew working out at home was something that I would always do because that's just what I was comfortable with. So fast forward like 5 years, I got T25 and I did that for a while. But I actually tried Shakeology one time and I was like, this is disgusting. I'm not trying this ever again. But I made it completely wrong. But anyway, I was approached by someone I had never known of. And she asked me about coaching. We had mutual friends. And I was a little resistant at first, but she put me in a coaching group kind of like this one. And I just heard some of the stories and how this had changed people's lives. And I was just like, I need to do that. I actually had run like Biggest Loser competitions for my family and their friends. And someone told me, they're like, you should get paid to do that. Like, this is a lot of work. And I was like, I could probably figure that out. And I never did anything with it. And it was so much work, I stopped doing it. But when I found coaching, like, when I ran those competitions, I never had the tools to help people. I would just be like, yeah, pay $40 and we're going to try to lose weight together and I'm going to track your progress. But I never knew what to tell them. I had no idea. I knew what worked for me, but I couldn't do that for them. So I stopped that, and coaching kind of gave me that full piece together. Like, I could help people, I could have tools to help them, and I could get paid for it, which was pretty cool. So I started coaching at the worst time ever. I was like grad school. We just bought a house, working full time. Like it was not a good time, but I was like, I'm never going to do this at a right time. So I started coaching, and has by far changed my life. The community that coaching has brought me, like sitting on here with this call with these three women, like I would have never, ever imagined myself doing this. And the accountability was something I had always been missing. I never followed a nutrition plan. The accountability of checking in every day and making sure I was doing those things was just huge in my transformation. These are the results I've always been trying to get and never could get by going to the gym and sitting on the bike or working out without a nutrition plan. It was always everything in the package. So what I'm going to tell you about coaching is kind of our 4 vital behaviors. So there's 4 things that we do every day as coaches. And the first one is being a product of the product, meaning we're working out, we're drinking Shakeology, we're doing the things, checking in with our groups and our challengers, doing the things that show that these products work, which is not hard for me because I have been doing Beachbody programs for 7 years. And now I love Shakeology because I know how to make it correctly. So being in the product of the product is the first thing and the top of the list. We need to show what these products do for other people. And obviously it's our own health journey too. A lot of people start coaching when they're not at their goal weight. And this is a way to keep them accountable for that while showing people that it works, because it really does. The second thing is personal development. So if you're not growing personally, then your team is not growing and the people you're helping are not growing. So what we do is find personal development books that help us grow in whatever area you want to grow, leadership or just confidence or self-love, anything that interests you. And some people listen to it. I love listening to podcasts, which is really, there's a lot of great podcasts that I love listening to. And I always say that if I never made a dime with this, I have grown so much in my own personal journey that this opportunity has changed my life completely because of personal development and just being accountable for my own health. The third thing we do is invite people. So we share our journey on social media and we invite others to join us. So every day we invite people to join along, whether it's joining our team to help other people, or joining your challenge groups or joining a free group. If you're passionate about something, you will invite them to just learn more about you or learn more about something that you're passionate. Like I love gardening or I love saving money. So I run these free groups to help people save money or to show them how I garden or something like that. So I invite them to just random groups to show them who I am and to ask them if they want to start their health and fitness journey. And then the fourth thing is recognize. So we recognize people who are crushing it in our challenge groups or who are rock star inviters on our team. I remember my coach recognizing me for the first time and how good it felt. Like someone shouting you out like, girl, you are on fire, and publicly or just in our team pages. And I just loved that feeling. So giving that feeling to other people is just something that I enjoy doing, and it's just very positive and uplifting. So those are the 4 vital behaviors that we do as coaches. I can't see if anyone's commenting with questions, but if you are, someone will answer them after I'm done. So I'm done. Who's taking it off next?
I'm taking it over next. So hi guys. For those of you that don't know me, I am Shayna. I have been coaching for 3 years as of today. And I absolutely love coaching. It's super fun. I got into this because I was in challenge groups and I loved my challenge groups. I loved the people that were in them. I loved the people that were supporting me on my journey. And I wanted to do this for other people. When I started this whole journey, before I even started coaching, it was right after I had my son. I had a really hard time after I had my son. I had postpartum depression. I had an emergency C-section with him. I was back in the hospital with severe mastitis, like 2 weeks after he was born. So I was right back in the hospital again. And my best friend was getting married, and she was getting married 5 months after I had my son. And I remember thinking, I don't want to stand up as her matron of honor, not feeling good about myself. And so I was really adamant about, I've got to figure out a way to lose this baby weight. But I was depressed. I was struggling with motivation. I was struggling with how to find the time. I was very sleep deprived and tired. And I went to Facebook and vented about it like we typically do when we're having a hard time, right? We go to Facebook and we vent. And my friend, who happens to be on this call with me today, Andy, she is my coach, reached out to me and said, hey, I run these groups. Why don't you join in and see if this is something that would work for you? So I did. And I got in these groups, and it was just a bunch of women like me who are supporting me, who are helping keep me accountable, who are helping to keep me motivated. And I just thought to myself, you know what? If I can do this for other people, I would love to do this for other people. And it was about that time that all of those medical bills started rolling in. So for my C-section, for the mastitis, for all of the doctor's appointments that I had to go to with Ryan afterwards because he had some issues. And we were drowning in debt. We were completely drowning. We were living off of borrowed money from my parents. We were thinking about selling our house and downsizing. My parents actually gave us a car because we could not afford to get ourselves a car that would be functional and good for our new family. And I remember thinking, I have to go back to work, and I don't want to go back to work. And even if I do go back to work, am I going to be able to make ends meet? I'm going to have to figure out daycare, and I don't want to send my son to daycare. And all of these thoughts that were going through my head. So when the coaching opportunity was presented to me, I kind of jumped at it and decided, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to go all in. If I can help people the way that my coach helped me, it is so worth it to me to give this a shot. And I'm a very practical person. I'm a very planner, organizer kind of person. And so it was a little scary because for me, this is totally a not traditional job. But I thought to myself, you know, if I go back and I work a 9 to 5, I'm still going to be probably living paycheck to paycheck because we're going to have to pay for that daycare. And that's not what I want for our life. That's not what I want for what it is that I envisioned our life being. So I decided to kind of dive into coaching. And honestly, it came from a part of really wanting to help people the way that my coach had helped me. But it also came from a part of, I needed this. I needed something in my life to change. I did not want to be in the same place that I was in a year from now. I just couldn't do it. And so I decided I wanted to change more than I wanted to stay the same. I am a complete introvert. For those of you who see me on social media now, everybody's like, no, you're not. You're so outgoing. I'm totally introverted. Going to events, doing things like this, I am totally nervous about. I just get very anxious. I definitely struggle with anxiety. But every single day, like Julie was talking about personal development, we're all about growing as a person and getting better as a person. And every single day I'm pouring into me so that I have something to give back to other people. And over the course of these 3 years, I'm not going to go into my whole story because it's pretty long, but over the course of these 3 years, I've been able to do some pretty incredible things. When I first started, my main goal was, okay, I've got to figure out a way to cover my Shakeology because I can't afford it. I can't afford to spend money on this every month. We can't even afford to make ends meet. We're borrowing money from my parents. I put it on a credit card and I was like, okay, I've got to figure out a way to afford my Shakeology. That was my first goal. And so my first month, I was able to do that. And I was like, okay, I was able to afford Shakeology. I didn't have to pay out of pocket for this. I made my money back. That's awesome. And then my husband tried it and he decided he wanted to drink Shakeology. He wanted it on this to feel good and to be healthier. And that's great. But then I thought to myself, okay, now I've got to cover both of our costs. I can't afford that. So my next goal was to cover both of our costs. I was able to do that. And it just kind of snowballed from there. I realized that the more people I helped, the more people I was able to help. I was getting people that were referred to me. I was getting more confident in reaching out to people. My income started to grow. My team started to grow. It started to be this kind of exciting thing. And then I thought to myself, okay, I want to be able to bring my husband home, not home necessarily, but I want him to do something he's passionate about. He was in the Marine Corps. He loved being in the Marine Corps. He would be in the military today if I was okay with it, but I really wanted him to be home when we started a family. And he felt like he really made a difference in the Marine Corps. Like he was actually helping the community, helping our country. And when he got out of the military, he started to work as a warehouse supervisor. And he made great money there and he was good at it, but he didn't feel like he was doing anything to help the community. And that was a big factor for him. And he really wanted to be a police officer. And to be a police officer was about $1,000 a month pay cut for us, and we couldn't afford it. I mean, we were already struggling to make ends meet. And so when I saw my income starting to grow, I thought, if I could make it so that he could be a police officer and do what he really wants to do. I was passionate about coaching. I loved this. Like, I got up every morning excited to hop on my computer, to check in on my challengers, to invite people to this, to share my journey, because I loved it. And if I could give him a way to do what he was passionate about, it would all be worth it to me. So I decided that that was my big goal. And last year, a little over a year ago, he was actually able to quit his job as a warehouse supervisor and start Police Academy, which was huge for us. I mean, like I said, it was $1,000 a month pay cut for us for him to do that. And going through Academy is no easy feat. And he was able to quit his job and become a police officer. He's now been a police officer for almost a year now. And he's passionate about what he does. He loves what he does. And that opportunity would not have come for us if it hadn't been for coaching. Another factor too, when we were pregnant with my son, Ryan, we really struggled with finances, obviously. And we struggled about, okay, how are we going to afford a stroller? How are we going to afford a car seat? How are we going to afford formula? He ended up needing to be on formula, and it was the expensive formula. And we were spending about $500 a month on formula. How are we going to be able to afford all these things? Like, even affording diapers was scary for us. And I'm pregnant with baby number 2. She's due in December, and we aren't stressed. Like, we need a stroller. Okay, let's go buy a stroller. We need a car seat. Okay, let's go buy a car seat. I'm not stressed about these things anymore. And this has alleviated so much of that financial burden that we had on us before. So it's kind of fitting that the topic I'm going to talk to you guys about is how we make money as a coach, because a big part of this for me was I needed this to work financially for my family. And I found a way to make that happen. And it's kind of part of my passion in this is to help other people that are in that similar situation, because I know what it feels like to just feel bogged down by bills and to feel like you can't afford the life that you truly want and that you want more, but you're not sure how to do that. And this is a great opportunity for that. So I wanted to just share kind of briefly about how we make money. I don't want to go into too much detail, but first and foremost, can you just sit here for a second and think 3 people? Can you think of 3 people who you could help by offering them a healthier lifestyle? 3 people in your life, whether it's your friends, whether it's your family, but 3 people who you think could really benefit from living a healthier lifestyle. And if you can coach, because all it's about is reaching out to those people and inviting them to do this with you. Our goal as coaches, for each and every coach that we bring on to our team, is that you never have to pay for your Shakeology again. We don't want this to be something that you're throwing money at and that you aren't gaining anything back from. We want you to break even your first month or even make a little bit of money your first month and start to see that income grow. So in order to do that, you help 3 people every single month. You're going to cover your own costs. And if you can sit here right now and just think of 3 people who could benefit from living a healthier lifestyle, you've got this. You can totally coach. All you're doing, like I said, is inviting them to do this with you. Helping 3 people a month covers your own costs. You earn a 25% commission off of everything. So whether you are helping someone with a challenge pack, which is a workout program and Shakeology together, it's kind of like our whole package. I say it's the real deal. It's everything that you need, all of the puzzle pieces you need to get to your health goals. If you help people with just Shakeology, if you help people with just a workout program, literally anything that you help people with, you get a 25% commission on, which is pretty awesome. But as well as that, you can start to earn this residual income. So like I said, your goal every month is to help those 3 people to cover your own costs. And as you start going in this, start inviting people to do this with you. Like we're doing today, get on a coach sneak peek like this, invite people to be a part of your team, invite people to this opportunity. And the way I look at it is this. I didn't know what I was doing as a coach when I first started coaching. All I had an example of was how to run a challenge group because I'd been in one before, but I had no idea what I was doing. It's not like any of us went to school to be a coach. And I learned as I went along, and I had a lot of support from my team, and we ran groups together, and we ran training groups together and things like that to help our new coaches get started. And so inviting people to do this with you, inviting people to this opportunity isn't so scary because you've got all of us behind you to help you with that, to help you with training your new coaches and getting them started right as you're getting started. And as you start to grow your team, then you have an opportunity to grow this crazy huge residual income from people that are continuing to drink Shakeology, from your team who is going out there and duplicating what it is that you're doing by helping 3 people every month, by growing their team as well. It just starts adding up. And the way that I like to say it is this: your income is a direct reflection of how many people you help. It is not about selling to people. Yes, we do sell products, but it's not about selling to people. It's truly about helping people and sharing what it is that you're doing and offering this to other people so that they can do this with you. And if you do that, you can be absolutely amazing as a coach and really start to grow that residual income, and an income that can truly make it so that your husband can do a job that he wants, or maybe you want to leave a job that you're not fulfilled at, or whatever it is your goal. Pay off bills, pay off student loans. That's one of my goals right now, is we're paying off my student loans. This is the opportunity that can help you to do that if you're serious about it and you're serious about helping people. So that's what I've got for you, and I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Miss Kim now.
Hi. So excited to be here with you all. Thanks, Shayna. Love hearing your story. Love that you're taking care of your man. I feel like they do such a good job of taking care of us. So a little bit about me. I am, what am I? I'm a mom with mom brain today, so bear with me. So I started this journey. I had babies really close together, 15 months apart. And I was postpartum with my second babe, and I was super stuck. I was like hours and hours at the gym. I was counting calories like crazy, thought about diet pills, but they didn't really mix with the whole breastfeeding thing. So just was really, really stuck. And I know fitness. I used to teach fitness. I thought I knew everything I needed to do. But when I had babies, my whole body changed. Everything just kind of shifted, and I got really stuck. And I was definitely a little baby blues with my second baby, and he was sort of a surprise. Not that that is his fault, or he's a mistake by any means, but and so I just didn't know what to do. I felt really stuck. I felt like I was spending hours at the gym that I didn't have, because I would leave my work early, which wasn't really fair to my work. And then I would keep my kid, I would have to figure them out. And I was just like, this is silly. Like, what is happening? And so I had watched my friend Andy, who is also on this call, who you'll get to hear from. And she was my husband's best friend's wife, who I knew well, but not, as well as I do now. Actually, I think we're as closer now, lucky me. And anyway, I watched her go from being this person who hid kind of behind her kids and behind her clothes. And I watched her kind of come out in front of the camera and become this woman that was inspiring, that was proud, that was confident. And I remember going to my husband and saying, I just think I have to drink this Shakeology stuff. I don't know what it is, but clearly that's my missing component. And whatever this little workout that she does, it's only 30 minutes a day. I think that's what's going to have to happen. So I signed up, and I decided to sign up as a discount coach, because I knew I was in it to continue drinking Shakeology for at least until I felt comfortable in my own skin. And I'm a short person, so weight really holds on really, I had 45 pounds to lose when I initially signed up. And I remember I was 2 weeks in, and a little bit of TMI here, but you can bear with me. I'm a gastro doctor's favorite client. I was in and out of colonoscopies and just issues for basically my whole life. 12 years. I had to drink this tea twice a day. It was the only way I would go to the bathroom, and it was just awful. For 12 years, I suffered from intense bloating, constantly at the doctor trying to figure things out, constantly removing things from my diet. It was like this ebb and flow of whatever. And because I was pregnant for basically 3 years, I couldn't drink the tea. And so I was just like a mess. It was awful and very uncomfortable. And my husband hated the smell of the tea. Everyone knew me as the girl who drank this tea. And I was 2 weeks in, and guys, I don't know what happened, but Shakeology, it just I never had to drink the tea again. And I have since then gone on to have another baby, and I don't have those issues anymore. They're legitimately gone. So clearly there was something in there that was missing from my diet that helps me process food better, which improves my digestive tract. Because as you know, anyone who suffers from IBS, there's no cure, there's no drugs, there's no nothing. Actually, there are drugs, but those are the drugs you see on the commercials that tell you, like, if you have, blah, blah, blah. So you're like, oh, basically, if I'm dying, but you should still take these because the side effects are better than your other issues. So, or worse than your other issues. So I was sold. I remember thinking to myself, well, this is it for life. Like, I'm going to drink this for the rest of my life. And I kind of figured out that I needed to make that work for me. And so I put it out there that I was starting this 21-day fix, and lucky, I've always been an encourager. That's a natural gift that I have. And so people jumped on board, and I was like, whoa, what is this? What are we doing? And so I thought, okay, well, maybe I could coach or something. And maybe that would then pay for my Shakeology, since I have to drink it for life. And so away I went, and I've never looked back. I have, I've dabbled in a lot of different careers in my life, and I always knew I wanted to be a mom, but I always knew I needed to do something too. I'm not a very great stagnant person. I have a lot of energy, and I need to keep going. So I didn't really understand how the whole concept of okay, so I'm supposed to be a mom, and I'm supposed to stay home, but I'm not supposed to work, but I am supposed to work. And so living in Southern California, you kind of have to work. It's two incomes is pretty essential to surviving in this country, or in this part of the world. And so I just I dove right in, and lo and behold, it answered just this huge area in my life that I didn't even know that I needed to fulfill. It gave me a sense of direction that I never ever had with any of my previous jobs. I was one of those people who was I actually worked in my church for 6 years. And I was like, yeah, I'll probably just retire here. I'll just people are like, oh, do you want to move up? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm just going to sit in the same chair, and I hope, watch everybody else move up. And I literally lost my drive. And this is from the girl who 17 years old, moved to New York City from Washington State, and was like, I'm going to be the next Katie Couric. Gone, dreams ended, and I just kind of was like, I'm going to be a wife and a mom, and not knowing that even though I am those things, I'm still someone else. I still have an identity outside of being those things. And so I had to kind of figure that's no man's land, right? Because there are a lot of people who think you should just be a mom, or you should just be a wife. And I'm just not who I am. I'm my dad's daughter, and I want to help people, and I want to find freedom. And I began to see this freedom, and I began to hear these stories of these women whose lives were changing because they were taking care of themselves. And I just began to build this business around this idea that we are meant for so much more as women, as contributing members of society, to give back in a positive way. And my husband and I, we say this all the time, but there is no greater gift than getting a text or an email or a message from somebody saying, my husband or my marriage was on the rocks yesterday, or for the past 3 years. And ever since I started doing 21-day fix, it's like I came out from my shell, and our life has completely changed, and we're no longer getting a divorce, and we're no longer fighting all the time. You can't pay me for that. That is too life-giving. And so I believe that we are meant for our best life. And sometimes figuring out what our best life is takes a little bit of, takes you down a road of network marketing. And that is something I just never thought I would ever really be a part of. I think for me, we've all been hit up by the Rodan and Fields and the different network marketings out there. And that's great. And I think that all of them are fantastic, as long as they fit something in your heart of hearts. If they're not answering something bigger for you, and you're just doing it for the money, and you're just doing it because you hope that it's going to make you rich someday, it will not do that. And it will suck the life out of you. And so for me, coaching it's just that. It's life-giving. I feel like every day I get to be an example to my kids, and I have a daughter and 2 sons. I went on to have another baby, FYI. But I see them in the way I see how influential we have to be. And I love that coaching is that it's like a job and and here you are as like a role model and how to have a healthy life. I feel like ever since I became a coach, you know, a lot of what Julie said, we read personal development, and that got me down into like personal development about my marriage, personal development about my kids, personal development about my relationship with my friends. And I feel like I've now put all of these little relationships together, and they all continue to grow. And I've become a life learner in so many areas of my life. And that is what coaching to me has done. And I was so set on the, you know, I'm sitting in my retiree chair, I'm done growing, I don't want to learn. Gosh, what a way to live, right? Like, no, we're not meant to just like pay bills and die. We're meant to thrive and be excited and have passion and get out of bed and be like, yes, I get to change a life today. Like, that is what it's all about for me. And so a couple things that I was going to cover for you about coaching. Sorry, my phone went away. You know, I think I thought like, oh, I can't like buy in, you know, like it's going to be so expensive to buy in. Well, lucky you, to get into this business, all you have to do is buy a challenge pack, or you can pay $40. But like, let's be real. You want a challenge pack because you want the workouts for a year. You want to drink Shakeology because it saves your life. And in you are, and now you're a coach. That's it. There is you don't have to buy any inventory. There's no stock. There's no shipping. Customer service is customer service. You don't have to handle any of that. And so which makes it very contractual. There's no contractual feeling. Even if you just sign up for a discount, you can do that, which is so great. You have to be thin. I hate the word skinny. It's a word that I maybe because I'll probably never, that's just not something I like to encompass as somebody describing themselves as, and maybe because I was so stuck on diet pills and binge eating and all these things my whole life. This business is for anybody because everybody has a different walk of life. Everybody's built differently, but as long as everybody's striving for healthy habits, that's what it's all about. And so you don't have to have a transformation yet. You don't have to be in the perfect shape, because guess what? The perfect shape never really exists in your mind. You're always going to want to work on this or work on that. But telling your story and inspiring others just to live a healthy lifestyle is just as impactful, if not more impactful. Actually, I strongly think that when you bring someone, is if you're signing up to do this anyway and you bring people on your journey, you're going to have that much more credibility, and you're going to have that much more oomph to finish what you started, because people are going to be excited and they're going to be like, wow, look at, I noticed some changes. And that's going to keep you moving forward on your own personal journey, which is what this originally is what you set out to do, right? And I think the last thing is, I thought, you know, like I see these people on social media and I see these, you know, once you start getting into it, you kind of start Googling, well, who are these top coaches and how are they making millions of dollars? And you think to yourself, well, I don't really know how to, you know, do what they're doing. I don't know how to make an image that looks nice. And my selfie game looks weird. And I'm always like looking over here. We teach you. The coolest part is we're launching brand new training this month that is going to, I actually haven't been excited about something like this in a long time, because I feel like sometimes in this business, that's the cool part. You're designing your own stuff, right? So you take time and you're like cruising along, you're like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is how people are going to succeed. And so we are launching a brand new training that's going to knock people's socks off, give you the tools to succeed. You do not need to reinvent the wheel. All you have to do is be ready to learn, to grow, and to work out. Pretty much that's it. Believe in the product and share your story, and that will bring people to you, and that is how you change lives. So I'm going to turn it over to the gal who inspired me to change mine, and she will finish this off. So Andy.
Hey guys, so my name's Andy, and I have been coaching for almost 4 years now. And for me, this all started with a pretty dramatic weight loss transformation. So I'm really distracted looking at my notes. I'm going to move them really quick. I always carried around like an extra 20 to 40 pounds, depending on where I was at in my life. Like end of high school was a little bit lower, college it went up a lot. And, you know, it just fluctuated. And I tried so many different things to lose weight over the years, and nothing ever took. Like I would have some success for a couple months just to gain it back. I never found a healthy lifestyle. I found diet pills. I found gimmicky, eat this for 3 months, like soup, and yeah, you'll get skinny and all of this stuff. And I, just like Kim said, I hate that word skinny, but to be really honest, that's all I ever thought about wanting to be. Like, I just wanted to be skinny, and that like sends chills up my spine now. But that, I thought about that a lot. I had very low confidence in myself, in my body. I was always self-conscious, and I really wanted to change. And I kind of developed this like defense mechanism for it, where I would joke on myself. And when I got pregnant with my first son, I had lost a ton of weight before I got married, because the vain part of me, to be completely honest, just wanted to look back at my wedding photos and see myself as skinny. So in a very unhealthy way, I got down to a pretty low weight for myself, only to gain it back and then some when I very quickly got pregnant with my first son. Fast forward a little bit more, had another son, and I was at the highest I had ever been. He was almost 1 year old, and I spent my time joking on myself when I would talk about it with other people, but just being miserable and tired. And I was working nights as a nurse at the time. I was teaching natural childbirth classes. That's another passion of mine. And I just felt like I was getting nowhere. I felt like there was no time for me to ever implement any sort of daily workout. Like, I can't go to the gym. What am I going to do with these kids? I can't get in any sort of routine. The thought of like meal planning and prepping anything was just mind boggling to me, because I was lucky if I got like mac and cheese on the table at night, because I was just overwhelmed. And my coach and good friend was over a few times. I had noticed that in a few months of not seeing her, she was out of town, she lost a ton of weight. And our kids, our first two kids, are very close in age, like literally days apart, each of them. So when I hadn't seen her for about 8 months, and she comes home and she looks amazing, like better than I'd ever seen her before, 6-pack after 2 kids, I was like, what are you doing? So she told me, I'm doing these workouts. They're 25 minutes. I don't know if y'all have heard about T25. They're 25 minutes and I drink this shake. And I'm like, whatever. She gives me a sample of the shake and I'm like, that's disgusting. Well, that's because I just shook it up with water, and I had already made up my mind that there's no way in heck I'm going to be drinking some sort of shake. Well, lo and behold, she got tired of hearing me complain, because anytime we had a play date with our kiddos, that's all I did was complain about my weight. She walked me over to my computer and said, you are getting a challenge pack right now, and I'm going to help you. And I'm like, okay. So I bought T25 and Shakeology, and I was invited into her challenge group, which I didn't even know existed. This was like a whole nother world. In my mind, I thought she worked for Beachbody. I went around telling all of my friends, if you want to get a hookup with any sort of workout, just ask Logan. Somehow she gets like this discount. I don't really know. Like, I didn't even know that coaching was like a thing. But what I did know was, for the first time in my life, I was dropping weight really quickly and I was feeling great. And I loved this community that I had been invited into of these challenge groups. You've probably heard us say that word a few times now. And I got excited every day to check in and let all these other women know that I did my workout, like, yay me. And then, I do a yay me, and then they do like a yay you. And on the days that I didn't check in, I had people going, where are you, Andy? Yeah, we haven't seen you yet, And it just drove me to keep going. I loved being able to celebrate the other women in the group when they showed up and they shared their awesome workout of the day, or that they lost 3 pounds that week or whatever. I got obsessed with being in this community of women that was just championing each other, because in our world these days, that doesn't exist in very many realms. And that's sad. So I was just all about it. Fast forward, I lost 30 plus pounds. I felt amazing. And I was naturally, like I said, telling everybody who even looked at me a certain way that they needed to do this. Again, telling them, yeah, my coach, I don't know, she can hook you up. I don't know. So after doing that a few times and sending my coach tons of referrals, she said, dude, you need to coach. And I told her, absolutely not. I'm a nurse. I have way too much on my plate. There is no way I'm going to be selling anything to anybody. No, I told her no for months. I didn't want anything to do with network marketing, because in my mind, I was just super skeptical, and I didn't want to be that person selling something. That's all I thought about it. I didn't even give her the time of day for months to even consider it. Well, as I continued to give her referrals, and my friends and family continued to get results like I was getting. They were excited. I was excited. I started running my own groups because I loved it. And I just loved sharing that and spreading that. Again, still sending all these people to my coach. So months in, she finally convinced me, sign up for the discount. You might as well. So I signed up for the discount, still swearing up and down I wasn't going to be doing anything with this business. So don't ask me. Don't put me in any sort of trainings. I don't want to know. I just wanted to put my blinders on and continue on this really fun, healthy lifestyle that I felt like I had hit the gold mine. I felt like everybody needs to be doing this, because if I could do it, the girl who literally was overweight my entire life, after trying several different things that never worked for me, I felt like everybody's got to do this. It's the greatest thing ever. So it didn't take too much longer after that for me to be like, why not me? Why not try this? Why not change my thinking and consider actually listening to what she has to say about the business and what the business model looks like, and see if that would fit for me. So I slowly started to dive in, and because of the way my personality is, at that point, I was like, I'm all in. And I started actively inviting people to my own challenge group, not just waiting for them to come to me or waiting for them to comment on my transformation. I was actively inviting people, and that's when I invited Shayna. So truth be told, Shayna didn't buy anything from me for months and months and months. And I was cool with that, because this business is all about giving and sharing. And I didn't care if I made a dime off of Shayna. All I cared about was, here she put out there to the world, to the Facebook world, that she's upset and she needs help. And I related so much to that. Like, I needed that, and my friend helped me. And I got so excited about being able to pay that forward. So when I finally got the guts to reach out and say, Shayna, you could coach with me. You could do this with me. Let's do this. And she said yes. A light bulb went on in my head that now I really need to figure out the business side of things, because like Shayna shared, she told me that the only way she'd be able to do this is if she could cover her own costs. So I'm like, I got to figure this out and figure out how, not only just to help people with their fitness, but how to help people with the business and earning an actual income. So from that moment on, her and I dove in, and we brought along all these other amazing women on our team. Like Kim said, another truth be told, she was one of the very first people when I got the guts that I reached out to, because she's just, you can see her personality is infectious and she's so full of joy. And I knew that she would just be an amazing coach and an amazing light for other people. So in my mind, I'm like, I am building this dream team of women who want to pay for this amazing gift that I received. So it was easy for me. It was easy for me to take that leap. It wasn't about the money. But when I started to notice that my efforts for helping people turned into a legit income that I wasn't expecting, I was like, whoa. I didn't know that this could really be a thing. Just like in the past with my weight loss, I had self-limiting beliefs about, anything like this actually working for people. Like I said, I was very skeptical. So I would hear about these people who were actually making money. I would hear about these people leaving their jobs or paying down crazy debt or whatever. And it took me a while to actually believe that that was true. It took me until I started seeing it myself. And, just in the very beginning, a couple paychecks where we were able to pay for gas, not out of our regular paychecks, or pay for the electricity bill, not out of our regular budget. Like, that was a big deal. I was working part-time as a nurse, and we were scraping by, to be honest. We chose to live in an area that's pretty expensive. We chose to buy a home that was definitely at the top of our price range. And we were barely making ends meet. And I didn't want to work more. So I saw this as an opportunity to be like, okay, I can help more with our mortgage, or I can pay down a little bit of debt. And I realized that the only way to be able to do that was to help more people, to up my game in terms of how many people I invited to join me in this amazing community and to try out these amazing products that literally completely transformed my life. I went on to have a third baby, and when I was faced with returning to work, I freaked out. I completely freaked out, and I was like, there's no way I can do that. I can't go back to night shift with 3 babies. And I didn't want to. And I bawled my eyeballs out thinking there's no way my husband's going to let me walk away from a traditional paycheck that we know is guaranteed every 2 weeks as long as I show up, to do something that is non-traditional, that is, you have to actually build a business on your own. But what I realized at that moment was it was probably a year prior to that I was starting to make more as a coach than I was as an RN, which just baffled my mind. So in looking at it, I thought, this is my opportunity to do the one thing that I always really wanted to do, was the mom thing, be home with my kids. I can relate a lot to Kim with wanting to do more and not just have that title of a mom, but I also deep down inside me wanted to just be home. And so I feel like this is the perfect mix. This is the perfect job that I never knew I would get and that I never saw coming. And it filled so many blessings for our family. So I called my boss after many tears and said, you know what, I'm actually not coming back. And mind you, it was my dream nursing job of delivering babies. It's what I had worked my whole 10-year career to be doing. And I walked away, and I've taken this on full force, and our team has grown since then. My passion for it has grown. My passion for helping people duplicate what I've duplicated is just off the charts, because I've realized that I know how to help people get results in their fitness. And now I have this confidence of helping you also build a business and get to walk away from your job if that's what you want, get to pay down debt, get to help your husband like Shayna did. It's life-giving. And I feel like it's just something that I cannot hold in for myself. I feel like it would be selfish for me to not share about this constantly, because it's just an opportunity that if you're skeptical like I was, I get it, but I want to help you get over that, because there's so much joy and there's definitely not a shortage of success in this business. And one of the most fun things is that we do everything as a team. As it's been mentioned, you don't need to recreate the wheel. You just need to be willing to help people. And we help you with all the technical stuff. We have brand new trainings coming out that we literally just worked on that are fantastic, up to date in terms of how to get going on social media, how to have that solid foundation to share your journey. Whether your journey starts tomorrow, day one, never been in a challenge group, we will run with you wherever your starting point is. Or whether you've been in a challenge group and you kind of know the fitness side of things and you're already in love with Shakeology, great. We will pick you up from there and help you from there. So we work one-on-one with every single person who joins our team. And we also work as a big team, which makes it so much fun. Just today, I think I've talked to Shane and Kim about 1,000 times. And I love that. You become best friends with these people who maybe you lost touch with, or maybe you didn't know as well. And I would have never even met Julie if it wasn't for coaching. So many blessings come out of this. There's a lot of common misconceptions about coaching. And like I said, coming from the number one skeptic, I always like to cover this topic. A lot of people think that you have to be thin. I definitely was not. I was totally on my journey when I started as a coach. In fact, then I had a baby, ended up on bed rest, wasn't able to work out for 4 months, 5 months, I don't even remember. Had to lose that 30 plus pounds all over again. And I'll tell you that my business boomed during that time when I was juggling 3 kids and re-losing the weight, because I was able to show people once again, like Julie was talking about, that these products work. All I did after I had my 3rd baby was drink my shake every day, which really helps with breastfeeding, by the way. If you have milk problems like I didn't when I was drinking Shakeology, I can tell you that. And I popped in a 30-minute workout. And I knew that I had this community, this team, our Fit Fam, my challenge groups behind me to help me. On the days when I was like, I just can't do it, I'm so overwhelmed, I had my girls saying, you can do this, Andy. You know how to do this. Press play and check in, and we'll see in a little bit. And that was huge for me. Another misconception is that you have to have a ton of friends on Facebook. You have to have this huge network in order to be in network marketing. I like to use Shayna for this example because she only had 200 friends or something like that on Facebook. And a lot of them were already my friends, and a lot of them had already seen what I was doing. So she had to start pretty much from scratch in terms of finding people to help, finding people to invite. So we can help you from ground zero in terms of building up that network and finding those people that are like you, that you're going to want to work with, people who are going to want to work with you as their coach. We are zeroing in and becoming experts in helping our teams do that. And the last but not least, I hate to mention it because I hate this word, but I got to bring it up. We are not a pyramid scheme. Let me tell you right now, I could be at the top of all of these girls, and if I wasn't helping them find success, I wouldn't be making $1. So this business is all about helping people with their fitness and their finances. But in order to do that, you have to be all in. You have to be passionate about it. You have to be willing to learn and willing to grow as a person and willing to give these products a real college try and realize how much they can impact your health and the health of everybody around you. But pyramid schemes are illegal, so there's no way Beachbody would even be up and running if it really was. I know that a lot of people think that. I can put your mind at ease. It is nothing like that. Your success is completely determined on how much effort you put into this, and we are all here to help you and champion you and do this together as a team. Like I said, just to wrap this up, we're so glad you all jumped on tonight. It's just exciting to be here with you. We're excited to have new faces on the team, and we have that new coach training that is up and running. So we would love to get you going right away. So don't hesitate. It is a perfect month to jump in. We are actually launching in the UK next month. So this is big time. Up until now, Beachbody has only been in North America, Canada, and the United States. And just next month, we will be in the UK as well. So that is big news. And we would love to help you launch your business not only here, but also there. So thanks again for being on with us. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment below or reach out to the person who invited you to this group and chat with them. We're all here to help you out. So good night.
Good night, everybody.
Are we going to stay on?
Are there any questions? Yeah, I was going to say, if there's any questions that we've got right now that we can answer, we may as well answer them.
Let's see. Let me see. Share your questions, friends. What do you have?
Hey, Kathleen. I don't know if you're still on. I just saw your comment. And a few of you have asked how to watch it from the beginning, and I think Andy answered it in the comments, but after we're done with the live, once we end this, it'll be just like a live video on Facebook. So you'll be able to watch it from the beginning and kind of fast forward to different parts and pause it and stuff like that. So.
And Jen, I saw that you just asked how much the challenge pack is. So right now, to sign up as a coach is actually the same as signing up as a challenger, which is awesome. There's no extra coach fee. Like Kim was saying, you don't have to stock products. Basically, what you're paying for to buy in is the kit that gets you the best results ever in life. So you get access to all of the workouts on demand for a whole year. You get Shakeology for a month with a shaker cup. And you also get our nifty little portion control containers with the nutrition guide. And then your coaches help to get you started not only with the business side of things, but also with your own fitness as well. And it's $160. I didn't even answer the question. $160. It's normally $199, and right now it's on sale. And I'll tell you that when I signed up, I got one program on DVD and one bag of Shakeology. There was no such thing as containers. And it was like $200 and something. So
this is a steal.
I feel like they're giving this stuff away for free.
I saw Tiffany just asked a question too. How much time do you put in on average a day as a coach? I would say it really does vary. It matters how quickly you want to run this business. If you want to take off with this, if you want to like grow an income quickly and grow a team quickly, you're obviously going to put in more time because you're going to be helping more people and it takes more time to talk to more people. But as the general rule, we have what we call the power hour. And this is something that we teach you about. And it's how to basically get all of the business building activities as a coach done in an hour a day. And you don't have to have a straight hour a day. And I'm sure Andy could attest to this, especially when she was nursing at the same time. She didn't have an hour she could just sit down and do this. So she worked more in Power Pockets. So 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. And we will teach you how to do that in those activities that you should be doing in order to kind of grow your business, help more people and things like that. But it really is up to you how much time you want to spend doing this. And especially as your team starts growing, you are going to be spending a little bit more time because you're going to be helping and mentoring your team as well. But I feel like once you get to that point, it matches out, like it evens out. The time that you're putting in is so worth it. So I don't know if any of you ladies want to touch on anything there.
No, I think you kind of choose how much time and when and where. That's I think part of the best part. You know, you spend, maybe you do it at nighttime, maybe you're doing it. I think most of us are doing it in Power Pockets during the day, just little like when we get to it. But I think another part I was going to touch on, and that kind of the cool part, I think, you know, since becoming a coach, I've gone on like 5 trips for free with Beachbody. I can tell you that with, you know, 3 young children, I didn't think I'd be traveling anywhere. And it's, I mean, as much as I hate leaving them, it is so life-giving to know that I'm going and I'm training and I'm having this connection time with my team and we have retreats. And I think that's just like an added bonus to be able to, you know, to know that you, that's an opportunity for you to go on free trips and with your spouse or with your team or whatever. I think that's just kind of something that's fun to know about Beachbody, because it's something I don't think we all plan for, you know?
Yeah.
I would second that. I'm the type of person who would say no to even like girl nights out. So that was something, this business will get you out of your comfort zone, but in a really good way. I love the time that I've gotten to spend with these women. And I think it's helped me to be a better friend. And I think it's actually been really good for my family to get me out sometimes, because I'm a homebody and I'd be perfectly happy, like never leaving my home. But I've taken these trips now and it's always so refreshing. And then I come home like, okay, I can be a better mom now because I actually got some me time. And they're just fun. The trips are just really, really fun. There's another question about sharing your life on social media so freely. A lot of us are really introverted. Like I said, I'm a homebody. I could just hide all day long. But to me, it's very cathartic, and I'll be completely honest, and you know, you girls can definitely chime in, but I feel like to really touch people's lives, you're going to need to be vulnerable and share the parts of you that, you know, you wouldn't normally share. For me, I used to be a Facebook stalker creeper. Like I would just scroll and read everybody's stuff. And that was it. I barely posted. I barely liked and commented on anything. But as a coach, we use social media as a free avenue to share our story and bring people on board into our challenge groups so that they can benefit from these products and from this business. So I'll just be completely honest. I think you kind of need to, you know, let yourself be vulnerable and share that. And sometimes it is scary in the beginning, but I can say from personal experience, it becomes fun and exciting and cathartic. And when you get those messages back from people saying, thank you so much for sharing that post this morning, like it spoke right to me and I just got up and got on my treadmill, it's worth it every single time. I can't even tell you how many times I've gotten that message. People who I didn't even know were watching me on social media would say like, thank you so much. I read your post the other day and I was having such a bad day. And that really, you know, helped me get through it. Like, okay, I'm going to keep sharing because that just brought me so much joy.
Plus, I think it's freeing. I think it's very freeing. Sometimes we get so stuck in our own heads about life that's getting us down, and for whatever reason, when you put it out there, even in our challenge groups and in our community, realizing that other people are in the trenches with you in this thing called life is so freeing, and it helps you get over said issue that much faster. And I think that it's almost like personal development. The more you use your mess as your message, then you're helping yourself move forward and get stronger and build habits to help you be stronger in that area in the future. So
yeah. And one of the things that I'll say too, I mean, one of my hesitations about coaching was I didn't want to be a salesperson. I'm not a salesperson. I couldn't sell water to somebody in the desert. Like I'm not that kind of person. And a big part of why we share on our social media, why we open up about things even beyond coaching. I mean, opening up about other things that you struggle with. Like recently, I've been talking a lot about how I struggle with postpartum depression. And that's something I've never shared with anybody before. But it's a way that you can connect with people and build relationships with people. We are in a relationship building business. Like, it's not about, hey, buy this challenge pack. Okay, great. You bought, go away. Now next person. It's all about like building these relationships with people and helping people. And I think honestly, the best way to help people is to get to know them. And it's really hard for somebody to be like, okay, yeah, I trust you to help me on this journey if they don't know who you are. So that's kind of how I got over the hump of like, oh, okay, I'm kind of nervous to share this. But then I thought, okay, if they don't know who I am, how can I help them? And so that's kind of been a way for me to help build relationships with people and just let people get to know who I am so that I'm helping the people who are going to connect with me and my story. So,
Monica, I saw your question.
Go ahead.
Sorry, it's sick. I don't know what's going on. But I was really worried about that too. I was more nervous for people I did know and sharing my story and having like my in-laws see what, you know, like a part of me that I didn't ever share with them or, and I've had people negatively comment. I mean, I think we all have because there are just some deep-rooted negative people out there. But if I always try to think of it, if they're being negative towards you, they need to grow on the inside themselves. And I've had people unfriend me and it's just people I don't, you know, they just don't want to see what you have to offer them. And you just got to let it roll and just keep going. And know that the positive people, the people you're affecting positively is so far greater impactful than anyone that can be negative on your page. So you just got to keep going with it.
yeah, for sure. And you have the power to delete their comments.
Yeah.
Because if it's on your page and somebody says something negative to you, you can just kind of delete it and move on. And that's honestly what I do, because the way that I look at it is something is happening in their life that caused them to react that way. Because I can say, I mean, I know each of these girls pretty well at this point, that what we put out there is coming from a genuine place and from a place of truly wanting to help people. And if people don't respond in that way to it, then they don't know where our heart is. And I'm okay with that because we're not going to connect with everybody. Not everybody is going to like everyone. Not everyone is going to like you. And that's okay. You don't like everybody, probably. I'm assuming most of us have some people that we're like, okay, we just don't mesh with that person. And that's okay. And I think that that's kind of the beauty of this is we get to work with our people. We always call them like your vibe attracts your tribe. Like, these people are my tribe. Like, they get me. I can be myself. And those are the people that you want to work with anyway. So
if you guys have any more questions, we're going to keep this group open so you can comment, question at any time. And yeah, we wanted to, give you guys your night back. I know that it's been about an hour, but we really appreciate you guys coming on and asking questions. Obviously, we're all really passionate about this. So I hope you all have a really great night. And we will definitely be watching the comments to see if there's any more questions. But don't hesitate to also reach out to the coach who invited you, because I know they'll be excited to chat with you.
all right. Bye, guys.
Good night.